Do you want to build a business that runs like a precision machine, generating predictable profit even when you're not there? Every founder dreams of a self-sustaining enterprise, a business that generates predictable cash flow, provides freedom of choice, and continues to grow even when the founder steps away for a week. Yet most businesses never reach that stage. They survive through heroics, not systems. They exist because the owner works in them, rather than on them. In this lesson, we'll turn that reality inside out. You'll learn how to engineer your company like a machine that prints measurable results, not by luck or personality, but through repeatable systems, clear accountability, and scalable strategy. This is how you transform effort into enterprise. Wealth begins when consistency replaces charisma. In early stages, reactive energy can generate your first wins. Answering emails at midnight, fixing mistakes manually, sprinting to meet demand. But the behaviors that ignite growth later suffocate it. Why? Because hustle is linear. It depends on your personal bandwidth. Once that bandwidth hits 100%, growth halts. Architecture, by contrast, is exponential. It designs objects, processes, people, and products that keep producing results whether or not you're watching. So the first mental shift of an engineer founder is this: my real product is not what I sell. My real product is the business model that sells it reliably. Your coffee shop's product is not coffee. It's the system that delivers the same flavor, speed, and profit at 400 locations. Make it habit. Once every quarter, define your weakest pipe and allocate 70% of improvement resources there until flow equalizes again. 2. Conversion. How prospects become paying customers. 3. Fulfillment. How the promise is delivered profitably. Engineering begins by measuring friction within each subsystem. Most companies have one choke point that limits total performance. Think of it like hydraulics. The flow of cash is always restricted by the smallest pipe. If leads come easily, but close rates are low, the conversion pipe is the bottleneck. If sales boom but customers complain or cancel, fulfillment is leaking. If delivery works but no one knows the brand, attraction has collapsed. Most founders think in silos: sales team, marketing team, operations. Engineers think in links. Each stage feeds the next. Friction in one compromises all. The value chain view forces 3 disciplines. 1. Every step must add perceivable value to the customer. If the end user wouldn't pay extra for that action, it's waste. 2. Each link must be measurable in both cost and yield. You can't optimize what you don't quantify. 3. Handoffs must be defined, not assumed. If marketing blames sales and sales blames fulfillment, the system has gray zones instead of guards. Mapping the value chain visually, from lead capture to invoice collection, exposes duplication, delays, and weak accountability. Every loop you close adds velocity and reduces variability. Velocity plus predictability equals bankable growth. The profit and loss statement is your operating manual in numeric form. Many owners treat it like a punishment. In reality, it's the dashboard of health. Here are 4 financial dials every builder must read fluently. Gross margin percentage equals revenue minus cost of goods, sold divided by revenue. This measures operational efficiency. If it's below 40%, you're not charging for the chaos you manage. Operating expenses. Ratio tells you how heavy the structure has become. Keep total fixed cost under 30% of revenue until repeatability is proven. Customer acquisition cost to lifetime value ratio. Lifetime value should be at least 3 times customer acquisition cost. Otherwise, growth consumes profit in real time. Cash conversion cycle. How long between spending money and getting it back? If it's stretching, you're subsidizing customers instead of serving them. Treat these as non-negotiable metrics. A business that doesn't track them is like a pilot who admits, "I never look at altitude. I just fly by vibe." Numbers are neutrality. They show truth minus ego. Take whatever currently works only when you personally intervene and translate it into documentation another person can follow. This might include a how-to video series for recurring tasks, checklists for quality assurance, templates for client onboarding. The key is observable standards. A process isn't documented until another person has used that document to achieve the same result without you. Codification converts knowledge into equity. If you ever intend to exit or franchise, Your valuation depends less on profit and more on transferability. Remember, businesses don't sell for what they make. They sell for what they can generate without their founder. That's a yield curve worth optimizing. To safeguard your engine, build a 3-layer filter. 1. Culture alignment. Values before skills. Ask candidates to describe a time they chose long-term success over short-term comfort. This reveals integrity more than any resume line. 2. Skill simulation. Let them do the work before they get the job. Present a mini project under realistic time constraints. You're not testing perfection, you're testing problem solving. 3. Core values presentation. Have finalists teach your leaders how they've lived those values in past roles. Teaching locks beliefs into clarity. That question liberates income without adding hours. Multiply control. Divide dependency. Leverage is any force that allows one unit of input to create more than one unit of output. 4 forms dominate modern enterprise. 1. People leverage. Delegating decision-making power with clear boundaries. Not just labor, judgment. 2. Process leverage. Using well-defined systems so that inputs require less oversight to produce the same output. 3. Technology leverage. Software that compresses time. Customer relationship management automation, artificial intelligence reporting, workflow bots. Every code snippet represents a fraction of an employee working around the clock. 4. Capital leverage. Profit reinvested into assets that compound. Marketing campaigns, distribution partnerships, intellectual property. Ask yourself weekly, where am I still using my hands where a system could serve? Engineering without feedback is guesswork. You need data loops that fire automatically. Here's a 4-stage cycle. 1. Collect signals. Analytics, customer reviews, team metrics. Prefer quantitative over qualitative. 2. Interpret patterns. Look for root causes, not individual complaints. 3. Implement change. Adjust one variable at a time. Document results. 4. Remeasure. Validate impact before declaring success. Contrast that with founders who wing it. They operate from emotion. If a month feels strong, they relax. If it feels slow, they panic. Emotional analytics ruin strategic stability. A business that measures reality weekly never loses control of its direction. Data is discipline in numeric form. Scalable organizations share 4 characteristics. 1. Clarity of offer. Everyone knows what is being sold and why customers buy it. Ambiguity kills replication. 2. Standardization of delivery. Every client experiences consistent quality, independent of which team member handles them. 3. Simplicity of decision paths. The fewer approvals needed for a task to proceed, the faster compounding occurs. 4. Redundancy of knowledge. No single point of failure. When one person leaves, no memory dies. Test your business with this formula. Scalability score equals clarity plus standardization plus simplicity plus redundancy divided by 4. Grade each factor 1 to 10. Anything under 7 requires redesign. Engineers grade honestly because numbers don't flatter. Once you achieve sustained 8+ scores, you've built a machine that prints results on command. To scale beyond dependency, your role must evolve. You begin as the technician, performing the work. Next, as the manager, you coordinate others. Finally, as the investor, you allocate resources to multiply returns. At the technician stage, wealth is linear, paid per hour. At the manager stage, wealth is progressive, paid per system. At the investor stage, wealth is exponential, paid per decision. Audit your calendar. How many hours do you spend in each category? If less than 20% of your week is investor-level work, resource allocation, long-range planning, capital deployment, you're still in the machine. Engineering a business that prints results requires stepping outside of it to see the blueprint, not just touch the gears. If you're finding these insights valuable for building your million-maker mindset, consider subscribing to the channel to ensure you don't miss future episodes and strategies. Businesses fail not because founders don't care, but because they confuse effort with architecture. Systems are the antidote to burnout and the bridge to freedom. Every checklist, spreadsheet, and training manual you build is a tiny printing press, creating output that no longer requires your hand. When these presses stack, you own a compounder of wealth. So ask yourself tonight, which part of my business still depends exclusively on me? And what system could replace that dependency within 30 days? Answer truthfully, and you'll begin installing the infrastructure of financial freedom. Because the goal is no longer just to work in a business that succeeds. It's to own a business that cannot fail quietly. If you found this episode valuable, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more strategic insights. And to continue building your million maker mindset, stay right here for our next recommended video.